everyone. Welcome to our Data Masters Episode 9, Data Journeys Unplugged, Edition 2. So without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker, Mr. Jesse Dimanlig, a full-time support engineer and an aspiring data analyst. A candid look at the challenges and lessons of breaking into the field. Let's welcome Mr. Jess Dimanlig.
Thank you for
Round of
having me.
applause.
Okay. Hindi naman need mag-open cam. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
If you want, may open your cam, sir.
Ayoko, ayoko. Share ko na lang screen ko siguro. Wait lang po. Ayun, so to formally introduce myself, my name is Jesse Demanlig. Currently, I have 4 years in the tech industry uh, experience. So I graduated BSIT in University of Santo Tomas in 2019. Then, after graduating, I did land a service desk job. So, as a technical support, service desk analyst in Tata. Ano, yung role na yun more on supporting talagang BPO talagang kukuha ka ng 30 calls per day. Tapos night shift siya. So, shift mo yun. First job mo, night shift ka. Sa BGC siya. Tapos yun, you would take calls assisting US clients. So, ayun, kung ganun. English only lang. So, yun talaga dun nakasa yung speaking skills ko. I didn't last for a year though, parang mga 9 months lang kasi hindi ko kinaya yung pressure ng BPO. After TCS, after Tata, I did land a job as a support engineer naman for Nexus Tech. This is in Makati, if you're not aware. So in Nexus Tech is a software reselling ba yung term for Nexus? Basta marami silang sinasell na software from ranging from database analytics, cybersecurity, kahit Windows reseller sila. Supplier din sila dito sa PH for our local industries. I was lucky enough to land a job there and was assigned for their cybersecurity solutions, namely their McAfee Enterprise solution. Ngayon, I think well, they did rebrand to Trellix. Blue na yung ano niya. Yung McAfee naging Trellix na. Ayun, nag-handle din ako dun ng orchestrating solution. Pag sabihin nun yun yung nagde-deploy ng mga antivirus sa mga enterprise assets. So, yung may McAfee kasing pang consumer, may McAfee pang enterprise. So, ako yung responsible dun. I got to work with local industries from BPO to food and food industry. Naalala ko. Yun. I lasted there 2.5 years. After that, I'm in my new current job here in IT Group Inc. It's based on QAV. Since in Nexus, I did have some database experience. Ayun, I was lucky enough to land the job here in IT Group for their open source solutions, which is Postgres, EDB Postgres. I in my days in the academy in UST, I was lucky enough to get courses may course ako dun, like subject na Red Hat, Enterprise Linux. Basically, ayun yung admin, nakatulong yun yung admin ano, kasi nagulat ako. ayun, magagamit ko rin pala yung mga nakuha na, tawag dito, yung naaral ko nung sa UST, na Red Hat. Kasi nung technical interview, I was shocked na akala ko medyo anxious ako kasi medyo late pa ako sa technical interview dun sa IT group, which is my current company. Ako lang pala yung nakakasagot dun sa on-site na technical. Granted na pwede ka naman mag-Google. Pero nagulat ako lang out of siguro mga 12, hindi naman 12. Let's say 12 na nag-apply dun. Ako lang yung nakasagot. So, I took that chance na talagang pursige dun sa technical interview na yun. Tapos, lo and behold, nalan ko yung job after a few weeks. So, I'm working now with IT Group. My client, our client, mostly banking, in the banking sector. So, meron isang client dito, local lang, na entertainment industry. So, yun, going back ulit, before IT Group, kasi I wanted to, yun nga, so inisip ko, tech, lahat naman ng background ko tech. Inisip ko uh, why not go to data analytics? Diba, madali na sa akin yun. Fortunately, may nakita ko sa FB na opening for, hindi naman opening, foundation ng nagso-support ng mga unemployed youth. So, nag-sponsor sila ng data science analytics wherein tinulungan akong gumawa ng portfolio for my resume. I think I can share my screen. Papakita ko lang yung Medium article. Kita ba? Pa-react naman. So, eto na react. Kita ba?
Yan naman po.
Kita ko. So, ano yun, parang a month na libreng bootcamp, and at the end, a portfolio at. Tapos, need mo ng output, hindi ka bibigyan ng certificate afterwards. Mabibigyan ka pero participation, hindi yung completion na. So, discuss ko lang yung dataset and the project itself. Kung I'll do my best kasi medyo, ano ba to? Last year, grabe. It's been a year na pala. Sa March na. Ayun, so, yung bibigyan kayo ng dataset, ito transfer mo sa Excel. Ito yung sa Excel. Ito pala muna. Isa sa Excel, isa sa Power BI. Let's start with the Excel. Talagang yung within the 1 month of 1 month of the bootcamp, tuturuan kayo na mag-Excel and Power BI. You have to attend the class. Pwede ka naman manood ng recording pero syempre mas maganda yung nandun ka. Ay, isabay ka sa instructor. Anyway, so let's start. Yung una is HR analytics. So yun, yung data galing Kaggle, which is sa naalala ko maraming ayun, ito, available pa rin siya. Anonymized to, I think from what I understand dati, totoo tong data na to, anonymized lang, meaning may niredact lang na info. So, ayun, pag ima-manipulate mo, para ka na rin nagtrabaho. So, yun. Yung point kasi ng analytics dashboard na to, yung KPIs. So, yan, dito mo makikita kung medyo hindi clear dito. Pero dito mo makita sa chart, um, kung ano yung top 5, kung saan yung ano, kunyari yung nga kung nagre-recruit sila 'di ba, saan ba mas patok si company. So yun, dun mo makikita LinkedIn pala or Indeed, and ayun kung ano yung ratio ng genders. So yun, dun mo rin kasi magigets kung ano yung context. You will give context on what data you are given. So ayun. Ayun nga, dun yung disclaimer ko. Hindi ito yung final design ng dashboard. Nanghihingi rin ako ng points. Tsaka inspiration dun sa grupo yung nagpo-post sila. Lalo na yung color din, ganun. And let's move naman sa Adventure Work Sales dashboard. So, from what I remember last year, ito rin galing yung dataset, ano to, fictional lang na company na nagbebenta, from what I remember, sa US, sa West lang, US West lang. So, ayun, turuan ka rin naman along the bootcamp kung paano, ayun, syempre, yan, bibigyan ka ng tables, paano mo ilalagay sa Power BI, ganun. And you would need to know nag-Google naman to, yung gantong formula. So, yun, yung data, you would need to make it presentable. Ang maganda lang sa Power BI, parang mas nadalian ako. More, pwede ka rin kahit hindi ka kasi tech, mas parang approachable siya yung Power BI. Yung medyo nahasa din naman ako sa Excel. So, ito yung final dashboard dun. So, similar siya ng parang dun sa analytics dashboard. Ayun. So, dun ko rin nalaman kasi yung pivot tables and paano siya makaka-create ng tables on the fly, yung mga ganun. Pero siyempre, unfortunately, yung gantong klaseng um, yung gantong klaseng portfolio hindi pa rin ano, hindi pa rin enough nung may application. So, medyo natenga ako after nung Nexus ko. Mga 6 months akong walang trabaho. Medyo nahirapan ako. So, nag-settle na lang ako sa data-related na job. So, that's where IT group comes in. Kaya, ngayon, ano na ako, parang DBA role na ako. Kasi nagsusupport ako ng Postgres na Postgres na database, mga proxy, HA, high availability. So, I think for me, hindi pa naman ako magi-give up sa data analytics journey ko. It's still a future prospect for me. Actually nga, parang nag-ano pa rin ako. Nag-a-apply din naman ako sa mga DevOps roles, mga Linux, mga heavy, mga medyo bigating Linux. Kasi okay din kasi may range ka as in tech. So, ayun. I think that concludes my brief presentation. Actually, any questions pa before I conclude? May ganun bang part, no?
Yes, guys, any questions para kay Sir Jess? Pwede niyo open yung mic mo kung sino man yung may gustong itanong.
Sir, I have a question.
Sige po.
Yung gawa mo, sir, it's all in spreadsheet po.
Yung una, well, lahat naman may spreadsheet sa naalala ko. Meron ding sa Power BI, naka-spreadsheet siya. Yung iba naka parang database file ata. Pero lahat naman yung naka-spreadsheet, ilalagay mo lang sa nasa ano siya, workbook sa Excel. lilinisin mo yung data. Yun pala hindi ko na ano, buti natanong mo kasi you would assume na yung mapupunta sa'yo yung data malinis, no? In the real world, kahit sa nababasa ko tsaka na-encounter ko, magulo yan. Lilinisin mo, iso-sort mo, i-normalize mo, mga gano'ng bagay. So, you would assume na lilinisin mo pa rin in some way. Kasi mas madaling 'pag ano, sobrang ganda nung ano, paglinis ng data. Sobrang dali ng i-present ng data, hindi ka na mahihirapan.
Hmm. Sir, yung tanong ko naman sa anong app mo siganapin niyo for data visualization?
Both you can do that on Excel and Power BI, pero mas marami kasing option si Power BI, mas marami siyang ano, mas maganda yung ano niya, way to visualize. Kaya I think that's why, stakeholders prefer Power BI over Excel for to data viz.
Okay po. Yun na, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sino? Herbs.
Thank you, Sir Herbs. Anyone else? Question, huwag kayong mahiya.
There's, I'm here. Curious ako, no? I'm not sure kung na-share mo kanina since nasa elevator ako na tapos napuputol din yung mga na-share mo. Pwede mo ba uli i-share kung nasabi mo man yung ano yung why mo? Ano nag-attract sa'yo to doing data? Seeing na from IT ka naman na din, no? Pero ngayon, or why did you start moving towards data?
Good question po. Growing up din kasi like yung high school, hindi ko talaga strong suit yung math. Pero oddly enough, statistics yung only 90 kong math. So medyo may special place na sa akin. Sa sarili ko. So I prefer dealing with statistics. So yung tipong yung high school ako, yung lahat ng mga matatalino sa math, sa akin lumalapit sa pagdating sa statistics. So personally, parang why not pursue? Think forte ka naman. Mga ganun bagay. Yan naman. Thank you, Ma'am Cam, for the question. Nare-reminisce tuloy ako.
Wow. Yeah. Actually, speaking of statistics naman, Jess, like, anong challenges yung naharap mo when it comes to, presenting your data and parang, kasi ngayon, ang inaaral ko pa nga lang is yung sa levels of measurement, tapos parang ano ba yung tamang stat yung gagamitin ko. Kasi parang dun ako kinakabahan sa ngayon. Just starting my journey.
And na-experience ko rin yan, ma'am. Kapag, lalo na yung tingin mo nasa ulo mo yung gusto mo i-visualize. Pero pag i-actualize mo na, mahirap. Kasi parang art form na rin kasi yung data viz. So, I think you would need to better your, wag yung sariling bias mo lang. You should think na hindi lang ikaw yung haharap na titingin sa data. Isipin mo stakeholders din yung titingin. So, what if hindi nila gets yung pinresent mo? Ikaw lang nakakaintindi. Pangit yun. So, think of it as medyo art form din yung pag data viz. Yun po. Kahit ako rin naman na-experience ko yan. Lalo na yung, diba, nabanggit kong hindi yun yung first draft ng ng HR analytics. Kasi yung hindi ko maalala, basta ang pangit. Lalo, ang pangit ng mga first draft ko. So, yun. Yun lang.
Thank you.
Okay po.
Thank you. So let's move on to our next speaker. Let's all welcome Mr. Jake Robert Mongaya from an ETL developer to an engineering manager for data in Berlin, Germany. He will be sharing the top 3 things that help him in his career. So let's give him a round of applause. Hi, Sir Jake. Welcome.
Hello, hello. Ah,
Yes, sir.
Ganda ng talk kanina ni Sir Jess. So, mahirap sundan yan. So, let me try natin mag-share ng screen. Yan. Nakita ng lahat? Kita na ba ng lahat yung
Kita po.
Yan. Hindi hindi kasi ako marunong yan. Ngayon natututo. So, ayun nga, maybe mag-start ako ng introduction tapos go through natin 'tong document na 'to. Tapos i-share ko rin 'tong document na 'to later on. So, pwede kayong mag-comment and meron kayong takeaways after itself. So, I'm gonna share this as well. So, yung pakulo ko ngayon is parang ginawa ko siyang vlog style. So, introduction. So, I'm Jake. I'm currently a data engineering manager um, here in Berlin. So, I'm managing 3 teams currently na may 10 engineers na nililid. I've been here in Germany for 6 years pero previously kawork ko si Sir Mike sa Globe. Tapos si Sir Sherwin naman sa IBM. Parang si Sir Sherwin yung boss ko sa IBM dati nung nag-start ako ng journey ko. So, again, nandito sa list na to yung journey ko. Nag-start ako noong September 2012. Title ko noon application developer sa IBM. So, yun yung in-applyan ko. So, marami din akong in-applyan, JobStreet, tsaka Monster pa nun. Parang wala pang LinkedIn. Tapos, pumupunta pa ako nun sa mga job fairs. Pumupunta pa ako ng Maynila, taga Laguna ako. So, pumupunta pa ako ng Maynila para lang umattend ng job fair. Tapos, ayun, nag-end up ako sa IBM. Pero hindi rin siya muntikan na akong mag-give up dun sa IBM. Kasi yung in-applyan ko, Java developer. Tapos binigyan kami ng training nun for 2 months ni IBM. Tapos hindi kami ni-replyan. Tapos yun pala, na-cancel yung project. Naghintay kami ng 2 months ng mga kasama ko sa batch. Tapos wala, hindi sila sumasagot nun. Tapos bigla na lang na-contact na, uy, na-cancel yung Java project mo, but meron kaming data warehousing project. So, swinerte lang ako na napunta ako sa data engineering. So, hindi ko talaga siya first choice dati. Pero, ayun. Yun, doon talaga nag-start yung journey ko. Siguro by chance, siguro destiny, sabi nga nila. But yeah. After that, let's say fast forward tayo sa 2018, halos yung mga friends ko laging tinatanong sa akin na, uy, paano ka napunta ng Germany? Actually, again, medyo coincidence din siya, pero combined lang din ng naggusto ko din mag-explore itself sa Pilipinas. So, meron ako nasa condo ako nun, may dalawa akong housemate. Tapos, nag-a-apply na pala sila sa different countries. Tapos hindi nila ako sinabihan. Tapos afterwards, parang nag-dinner kaming tatlo. Tapos sabay nilang in-announce uy, lilipat na kami ng Australia. Tapos yung isa sa Singapore. Tapos edi mag-isa na lang ako sa condo. So yun yung pinoproblema ko nun. So ang ginawa ko nun, kinopy-paste ko yung ginawa nila. Nag-apply din ako ng Australia at Singapore. As in, 0 interviews. Wala akong nakuha ang interview. So, nag-re-evaluate ako, change ng strategy. Tapos sabi ko, bakit ba ako nagli-limit sa Australia at saka Singapore? Kaya ang gusto ko naman is mapunta ng ibang bansa or ma-experience yung other countries. Ang ginawa ko nun, nag-apply ulit ako. Pero this time, in-applyan ko nun, yung walang visa sponsor. Yung kahit ano na may visa sponsorship. Kahit saan. So, US, Europe, Spain, as in kahit saan. Australia ulit and Singapore. Basta may visa sponsorship. Tapos, ayun, swinerte ako. Nag-reply yung Trivago. Nag-interview ako nun. Tapos, and dun na yung nagsimula talaga na nagkaroon ako ng opportunity to Germany. Na kahit wala akong kakilala, as in, nag-strive forward ako. Nag-take ng risk, kumbaga. Tapos, ayun, andun na yung story, yung nag-start ako. So, now, may 12 years of experience na ako sa data side since nag-start ako sa IBM until now sa current company ko. Maybe this time gusto ko namang mag-share ng mga kumbaga ano yung mga top skills na natutunan ko na gusto ko ring i-share at give back sa community itself. So, number 1, everyone starts with level 1 itself. I think lahat ng skills natin, it always starts with level 1. As in, magiging hindi tayo marunong mag-Python noon or SQL. As in, para kang ifi-figure out mo talaga. So, okay lang yun. We would start to become bad. As in, we would be bad at learning a new skill before we even become better. So, don't worry about it. So, lalo na ngayon sa data engineering and data world, sobrang daming terms. Sabi, ito yung my favorite meme ko na lagi kong nire-reference na sobrang daming tools out there. Tapos, hanapin mo to kung ano daw yung Pokemon. So, again, so, tatanungin niyo ako, ano dapat yung pag-focusan, yung dapat yung pag-focusan na isasuggest ko. So again, I think meron akong 2 skills na I think yung highest return of investment sa time ko na kumbaga, kung nag-aral ako ng 30 days dito sa skills na to, sobrang yun talaga yung return of investment of the time ay inaral ko siya. So definitely, I think medyo obvious to, Python and SQL. So, sa mga sa na gustong mag-career shift or nag-aaral pa, I think Python and SQL will really go a long way for yourself. So, but meron din tayong mga other skills na I would suggest. Katulad ng sinabi ni Sir Jess kanina, nagdi-DBA na siya. I think na sobrang hindi pa siya data warehouse, data as in basic database lang. Kahit MySQL, Postgres, aralin niyo siya. Aralin niyo yung basics niya. Sobrang important para sa akin. Ang dami kong natutunan doon. Tapos, crontab. May nabasa ako dito, Linux daw. Aralin daw yung Linux. Crontab is actually part of the Unix system. So, wala pang Airflow noon, wala pang kung ano mga orchestrator. As long as you know crontab, you will survive. And I think yung most common skill now is Docker. Bakit ko sinasuggest na mag-aral ka ng Docker, at least yung basics. Kasi lahat ng tutorials ngayon ng mga bagong tools, kung wala kang Docker, ang hirap i-set up. Pero kung meron kang basics ng Docker, at least kung just copy-paste mo lang yung tutorial na sabi nila, get started, or basic pipeline or basic setup, magsasurvive ka na. And then, pwede mo nang magamit yung mga tools na gusto mong aralin. At sabi ko nga din dito sa next part ko, yung napapansin ko rin sa iba, nasa stuck sila sa reading. Pero tayong mga programmers, we should not. Kailangan, after reading, we try it out. Kasi parang nahihirapan tayo dun sa debate ng, ano yung mas magandang tool? Ano yung mas mabilis? Tool A ba or itong Spark or Hadoop ba? Ano mas mabilis? Ang suggestion ko lagi is to always try it yourself. Kasi different companies would have different setup, so you need to be able to try them. And sabi nga Nike, di ba? Just do it. Gawin mo lang. So, ayun. Tapos ka na dun sa level 1 or napunta ka na sa level 2. Time to level up. Doon ka na pwede talagang mag-deep dive dun sa mga lahat ng tools ng data engineering, yung DBT, DLT, Airflow, lahat ng mga narinig yung buzzword. I think doon ka na mag-start once na-build mo na yung basics mo itself. And then, I think ang dami kong nakikitang project sa DEP, Pilipinas, na sinasabi nila na gumagawa sila ng end-to-end data pipeline. I think sobrang gandang starting point nun. Dahil alam nyo na yung mga skills, alam nyo na yung mga tools. So, pwede ka na mag-start ng end-to-end data pipeline. At, yun. So, yun yung tip number 1. Again, I have a suggestion here na ang nakikita ko din, katulad ng journey ko, hindi ako nag-start as ang dami kong nakikita na sobrang hirap ngayon ng job market. So, ang daming, let's say, yung basic starting point mo, pwede ka maging Python developer muna or software engineer or back-end engineer, and then you could actually shift to data engineering after. Because yung basics mo, kahit tulad ng Python or SQL, hindi mawawala yun. Nandun pa rin yun. So, title lang yan. But yung skills mo, hindi mawawala. For experienced engineers naman, there's this thing called T-shaped engineer. So, read into it, and then you will be able to know, basically, magsa-start ka to learn all of the basics of all the tools until you go down to a certain tool na magiging expert ka dun sa isang tool muna. So that's why it looks like a T. Yan. So, ayun yung tip number 1. Let's start with, level 1, then level 2, and then level 3. Para ka lang naglalaro ng kahit anong online games. Ayan. So, ito yung mga technical skills. But, again, yung tip number 2 ko naman is, even nag-self-learn ka, kailangan mong maging curious and learn from others. Katulad nga ni Phil, si Phil, hopefully nakakapag-share ako ng knowledge kay Phil, and si Phil naman din is sobrang willing mag-learn. So, mentorship namin, again, almost 1 year na, and hopefully, I'm being able to help him learn from outside his own work. Yeah. So, nung gusto ko lang i-highlight is yung katrabaho ko si Sir Mike. Meron kaming project na Tether Data to Hadoop. And then, sobrang swerte ko rin nga nun na meron kaming data architect na expert sa Hadoop, may experience, tapos kaming lahat walang experience. So, parang nandun, nagpakita kami ng motivation, nag-research kami, tinatry namin yung tinuturo niya. Sabi ko nga dun sa first tip number 1, reading and then doing. So, nakikita niya na ginagawa naman namin, tapos we go beyond dun sa mga tinuturo niya sa Hadoop. So, nagturo pa siya na nagturo. Right? So, parang yung motivation niya to teach us becomes higher. So, again, yun yung isa din. And again, ito yung mga tips ko nun na ginugoogle ko nun na uwian ako nun sa Kalamba to BGC before pa ako magkaroon ng condo. So, during my bus ride, talagang nag-google ako ng mga terms kung ano yung gusto kong aralin. Here naman, sabi ko, usually, technical skills yung pinafocus ko kanina. Pero meron din akong valuable lesson nun sa isa sa manager ko sa Globe. Sabi niya sa akin, you should learn how you can help the business understand their problem than focusing on the tool or solution. It was something along these lines na sobrang tumatak sa akin hanggang ngayon. Oo nga, no? Paano ko aanihin ko yung Python or SQL kung hindi naman nakakatulong sa business? Diba? So, kailangan yung ginagawa nating pinoprogram natin is nakakatulong sa business. Kasi yun nga, kaya tayong hinar is making sure na nakakatulong tayo. So, yun yung, again, it's not a technical skill, but mostly something like you need to learn. And it would carry over kahit data analyst ka, data engineer, or maybe nag-career shift ka na after. I think this one would always be there. Again, nandito yung mga suggestions ko in other links that you could follow itself. So, I will share it again. Don't worry about it. Bibigay ko sa inyo to mamaya for you to look into. Number 3, find ways to simplify complex things. Kaya ako nagustuhan yung data engineering rather than back-end or back-end engineer or DevOps kasi feeling ko tayo yung mga nagko-connect sa software engineers at saka sa business. Parang nasa gitna tayo. So, parang kailangan nating matutunan yung gaano ka-technical yung mga software engineers natin sa team. And also, kailangan natin maging non-technical para ma-interpret naman yung business. So, kailangan, ang galing, matuto tayo mag-breakdown ng mga complex problems para makapag-usap sila. So, again, yung ginagawa ko lagi kung paano ako mag-isip is sinisimplify ko yung mga bagay. So, halimbawa, data engineers or architects. Isipin nyo lang sila din yung engineers at architects sa totoong buhay. Diba? Yung architects, may blueprint sila. Yung engineers naman, they are implementing the design ng architect. So, all of them are similar. ETL, again, ETL is just like a kitchen. There are even with you extract your ingredients, then you transform them, you clean them, you chop them, you dice them, and then now put it in the data warehouse. So this what may kulang akong word dito. Sorry. So, yun naman yung ETL. And then, what about databases and data warehouse? I think it's a big library, right? So big library that stores information. That's a database and data warehouse, right? Why is a library organized this way? Sabi, pag pumunta ka sa library or pumunta ka sa National Bookstore, makikita mo is naka-organize siya by genre. May sci-fi, may drama, may history. Tapos after genre, naka-organize siya to the author's last name. So, bakit nga ba ganun yun? So, as you know, sa library, ina-optimize nila for retrieving the books and for the librarian na malagay niya ulit yung book to the same shelf. Kasi without this organization, everything would be in chaos. Right? Again, kung iisipin nyo, ganun din yung database. Kung wala kang mga partitions, mga indexes, or kung anumang organization under the hood, edi ang hirap ma-retrieve ng mga records mo sa database. Ayan. So, ang dami ko nang sinasabi. So, I'll skip some of them kasi ibibigay ko naman sa inyo to. I'll just go to the suggestions na nandito sa tip number 3, which is find the problem and try to explain it with someone non-technical. Yung meron sinasabi sa team namin is like, explain like I'm 5. You know, nasa Reddit din yan, yung explain like I'm 5. So, if you could explain it like you're 5, then you actually know the problem. For me naman, na engineering manager, I always try to become more visual. So, I use visualization tools to explain more concepts to people. Kasi even though visual things are really important. And last tip, bonus tip, is I think it's always be yourself and be a Filipino. Tanda ko nung isang talk ng data master ni si Christine, sabi niya, parang tech skills gets you in and soft skills makes you stay. Yun, sobrang ine-echo ko to. Totoo to. Sobrang kilalang mga Pilipino dito at least sa company ko na cheerful, hospitable, hardworking. Right? Tapos, i-combine mo siya sa tech skills na matututunan nyo sa Data Engineering Pilipinas, then, sobrang valuable nito. Right? But, yung mga new joiners or mga bago pa lang, laging tinatanong sa akin is, even my teammates, they would ask me, how do you learn soft skills? Yung answer ko is, play a team-based sports. Right? Or activity that involves a group of people in synergy. So, basketball, volleyball, League of Legends, Dota, or ano nga to, Mobile Legends. So, isipin mo, naglalaro ka lang ng ganun. And you would always need to coordinate if gusto mong manalo. Diba? Natalo kayo, then talk to your teammates. Analyze why you lost. Ano yung kaya nyong improve next game. Diba? Tapos, huwag kang mag-rage quit. Yun. Huwag kang mag-rage quit. Huwag kang magagalit sa teammates mo. Play the game and then improve afterwards. Or, if hindi naman gaming yung trip mo, then you could actually act in a theater play, right? Because in a theater play, kailangan mong mag-coordinate sa mga susunod na lines. After your line, kailangan alam ng next person yung sasabihin nila. Or, again, singing or playing in an orchestra or choir. Kapag may isang off-tune or nagkamali ka ng ipe-play na chords, then you actually impact the whole orchestra or choir. So in that way, you need to be in synergy with these people. And that's kind of you try to learn your soft skills. Ayun. So, yun na po. Tapos na po yung aking sharing. And I'll be happy to get questions. So,
Ako po may
Okay,
question.
guys, question. Sige.
One of my anxieties din kasi pag applying abroad, yung discrimination, naka-experience na po ba kayo? Hindi naman.
just discrimination in what?
In race.
When applying or
In general, yung stay mo, applying, gano'n, anything.
Not particularly. I
Not
think, especially in Germany, discrimination is, yes, there would be, but we can't do anything about it. You need to, uh, kumbaga, pasok sa, kanan, labas sa kaliwa, if meron kang mali, diba? But yeah, there would be. But I haven't experienced it that much. Let's say.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you po.
Kung may
Hello po.
questions, open mic lang ha. Okay, thank you.
I have a question po. So,
Over.
I'm currently studying data analytics. I'm a fresh computer engineering graduate po pala. And how doable is it to shift from maybe me studying data analytics to data engineering?
I think it will be, again, it should be easy. Lalo na kung starting ka pa lang. Yung skills nga natin is Python tsaka SQL, 'di ba? So kung ganun pa rin yung binibuild mo, then it would be easier to go to data engineering. But there's a but. I think kapag nag-focus ka masyado sa dashboarding, kumbaga nandun ka lang sa dashboarding and hindi ka nag-e-extend sa programming, sa software engineering, then medyo mahirap siya. So, if you're still in the data analytics, pero nagko-code ka din, nagpa-program ka, I think it would be easier to shift.
I see. Yun po. So currently I'm quite familiar with Python and SQL, pero admittedly I need to work with it. Work with it pa rin po. Yun po, thank you.
No worries. I think it's worth it. Yeah. But again, katulad ng tip ko kanina, if your goal, maybe you could also look sa mga Python developer or software engineering roles. Any more questions?
Open mic lang, guys.
Sabi ni Angel is takot pa daw siya. So again, sabi ko nga, let's start with level 1, 'di ba?
Yeah.
You won't, kahit sino, I think they would not be competitive immediately or competent, sabi mo nga. Pero you need to always start somewhere.
So, tuloy ko lang po yung curiosity ko at pag-aaral ko. Shifting naman po ako from a non-tech role. Ang background ko kasi initially is biology. Pero I've always been interested sa tech. And actually, it was because of IBM na I worked in IBM last 2022 to 2024. Pero sa recruitment team, sa parang RPO nila naman. Pero it was, since the role had a lot of reporting sa mga kliyente, doon naman ako napasok na parang, uy, wait lang, parang ang interesting na paano natin gamitin yung data numbers into something that would make sense sa mga stakeholders. So, sa akin, yun naman yung nagpo-push sa akin why go into data right now and well, the past few years. So, thank you po sa pag-share at pagbigay ng time sa aming mga curious. Thank you po.
Yeah. I think, like you mentioned, maybe baka i-consider mo din yung data scientist na path. So, ang dami ko nakita na mga katulad mo, biology, may teammate ako na astrophysics, pero instead of data engineering, napunta sila sa data science kasi mas yung gusto nila yung science behind it, yung experimentation. So maybe that's one suggestion as well.
Sige po. Thank you.
Sir Jake, yung link nung ano mo kanina, no? Na
Yes.
i-share natin?
Nandito na siya sa chat.
Oh, okay. Yun. Okay, okay, sige. I-attach ko siya dun sa Google Docs ng ano,
Oo.
yun.
Medyo madami tayong tanong sa chat. Si Kabark, sabi niya, it's recommended to dive first in junior software engineering to be confident in data engineering roles. That is my recommendation, pero hindi na, kumbaga, pwede kang mag-start ng software engineering or ETL developer. But since nag-start ka pa lang, yun nga, it doesn't matter if software engineering or data engineering kagad yung first role mo. You, after 2 years, learn the skills, you move to data engineering. I think it's really, really possible to do that. Sabi naman ni Ayano Koji, what makes you motivated to be more consistent? Yeah, totoo. Yung burnout sa Pilipinas, totoo yan. I feel na, pero sabi ko nun, kung hindi ako magiging consistent ngayon, hindi ako magiging consistent after 5 years. So I need to start somewhere to become consistent. So I think nakakatawa, pero kaya ang ginawa ko ng para maging consistent is I tried to build habits through non-work. Nag-start ako ng running noon. And nag-build ako ng habit, tapos naging consistent din ako sa work with other stuff kasi gusto ko masunod yung schedule ko. Ayun. May time pa ba tayo to answer yung mga other questions?
May 5 minutes pa tayo, sir. Ako, sir, may tanong ako.
Okay, go.
Uh, you've been in Germany for how many years nga?
6 years po.
6 years po. And meron ka bang time frame until when mag-work abroad, or you have any plans of going back to the Philippines?
It depends on the opportunity, pero I'm working, hopefully next year pwede na ako mag-apply ng passport. So yun yung goal ko ngayon, itself. May almost permanent na rin ako dito. So sa Germany kasi, kapag meron kaming tinatawag na blue card, so once may blue card ka, pwede ka nang mag-work anywhere in Europe. Yan. So
Okay.
once na
So,
nakapasok ka,
continuous.
siya. Hindi ka na tied sa one company. Pwede ka nang pumunta ng Spain itself. So actually, yung masasuggest ko, if there are people na gusto talagang pumunta ng ibang bansa, Europe. Everyone, parang lahat America, gusto mag-America. I think Europe. For us Filipinos, actually, baka hindi nyo alam, sa Spain, within 2 years, kapag nag-stay kayo sa Spain, in 2 years, pwede na kayo mag-apply ng passport agad.
Oh, okay.
So there's, yun, dahil colony tayo ng Spain before. Any more
Ano, Casey? Any more questions?
Hello. Walang questions, pero grabe, super inspired sa mga sharings ng speakers natin. We are all reminded that data journey isn't always a straight line, and that's okay. We saw the power of resilience and don't give up mindset of Sir Jess. And grabe yung mga tips na shinare ni Sir Jake. Grabe, nag-take down notes nga ako eh. Lahat talaga check, lahat talaga tama. Even for me, ngayon, pakilala lang ako quickly. My name is Christine. Been working as a lead data engineer here in the UK. Grabe yung mga tips na binigay ni Sir Jesse. Talagang, yun talaga yung, even sa company namin, isina-apply namin yung being a T-shape engineer, yung how you simplify complex things, having visuals, grabe yung Miro, gamit na gamit namin yan. Tsaka grabe yung isa sa mga tumatak sa akin sa share ni Sir Jake is yung how yung dedication niya, grabe 2-hour ride, inaalat niya to learn skills, to up skills. Grabe, diba? Iba yung dedication ni Sir Jake. So, grabe lang talaga. So, for me, wherever you are on your journey, keep going, keep learning, keep believing, because the journey continues. I mean, the journey doesn't end here, right? Basta stay curious, sabi nga ni Angel, ni Cam, just be curious. Stay plugged in dito sa community, stay connected. Napakaswerte natin meron tayong data engineering Pilipinas. Yun lang.
Thank you, Casey. Ay,
Hindi ako maka-open ng cam
Ayun.
kasi we're more than 25 users na, grabe.
35.
More than.
35
so, dito sa
attendees tayo,
Discord, hindi na
yes.
inaalaw mag-video on pagka more than 25 users. Dapat ata naka-live
Oo.
stage na tayo next time.
Oo. So, meron pa bang mga tanong? Miss Casey, iwan na kita dito. Punta na ako sa kabila.
Ay, grabe, sama ka. May saan ba yung kabilang yan?
Teka, guys, yung mga attendees dito, no? Meron kasi tayong AI study group session sa kabilang room. If in case wala na kayong question or like Sir Jake said, pwede naman niyang sagutin yung mga questions nyo offline. So, if you want to attend, you may do so sa... Teka, ito yung link. Ito yung... Ay, mali. Wait. Yung link nung ating Discord. Ay, sa meeting room, sa meeting room 1. Pwede kayong pumasok doon. Sir Alan will be waiting.
I think Sir Alan is also in this session. Hindi ba tayo dito sa same?
Yes.
Okay.
Yung link kasi na inilagay ko dun sa meet-up natin, dun sa meeting room, baka mamaya yung mga doon, maligaw sila. Pwede naman nga sana ituloy na natin dito para dun sa mga gusto. So, Sir Jake, any more insights?
I think
Lumipad.
ako maraming sinabi, but yun nga, yung mga gustong matuto and nandun ng Google Sheets na comment kayo doon or message nyo ako sa LinkedIn. Again, I think sobrang ganda talaga ng Data Engineering Pilipinas as a venue para matuto. Wala nito nun. And then, gamitin nyo siya to learn more information. Yeah.
And guys, sinend ko yung link ng Discord if in case you want to attend yung AI study, ha. So, sige, Miss Casey, it's your turn to
Goods na tayo?
sige.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much, Sir Jake, Sir Jess. Good evening, everyone. Let's go to na.
Bye.
Hi, guys. Thank you.